Welcome to Health with Hashimoto's, a podcast for you if you are diagnosed with Hashimoto's, wondering if you might have thyroid problems, or you're at risk for this autoimmune issue because of genetics. Exhausted and overwhelmed, you long to feel like yourself again, but you don't know where to start. Welcome to the Exhausted Mom's Path to Whole Health. Hi, I'm Esther. I am a registered nurse, and after 17 years in emergency departments around the country, I grew fed up by the system that only looks at symptoms and slaps short-term band-aids on problems instead of helping people truly discover how to reclaim their health. I went back to school for holistic health, and I am here to help you discover your next step on your journey to whole health. Whole health is made up of body, mind, spirit, diet, and environment. Changes can be made in any of these areas to help you create better health. Each episode of this podcast will provide simple and true tips so that you could take action immediately. Let's dive into today's topic. Maybe you just left the doctor's office and the doctor told you you have Hashimoto's. Maybe you just found out that your sister or your aunt or somebody has Hashimoto's and you want to help her on this journey. Whatever it is, you found this podcast because Hashimoto's has impacted your life. And all of a sudden, you need to know, what do I do with this information? What is Hashimoto's? What does this mean for my life? What does this mean going forward? How can I help myself? Or maybe how can I help my loved family member? I'm here for you. So I'm Esther. I am an RN and I do have Hashimoto's. I was in the emergency department around the United States for about 17 years before I grew fed up with Western medicine. Just the fact that they slap short-term band-aids on chronic things, they never really help people get better. They never address the root of things. I went back to school for holistic health and I started my own practice, nurse coaching. So coaching people as a nurse, not coaching nurses. But I got to tell you, the one thing that confused me in my 4 years of college and in my 2 years of going back to school for holistic nurse education, it was always the thyroid. I did not understand it. And every time I would listen to a lecture, I would take notes, I would try to figure it out. And every single time I got this glimmer of hope, I got it. No, I don't. So when I started feeling sick, when I started thinking that things are not right, I decided that it could not be my thyroid because I don't understand thyroid. Well, I got my diagnosis and I understand where you are right now. I empathize with you. Maybe you're rejoicing because you finally have a name to put with all of these things that have been going on. Or maybe you are grieving because your body has betrayed you. That's maybe what it feels like. Maybe you're scared and overwhelmed because Hashimoto's is a big word. And when you Google it, a lot of stuff comes up. Well, whatever it is, I want you to do this. On your day of diagnosis or helping your friend through it, I want you to feel the emotions. I want you to give yourself permission to feel. So often, especially in our culture, we move on from feeling to doing. Okay, I've got this, now what? Right? Does that sound familiar? I want you to feel. Allow yourself the emotions because we need that. Your whole health is dependent on all the parts working. So if you stifle some of it, well, then you're not going to be wholly healthy. All right. So you're going to feel your feel your feelings. That's the first thing. And then I want you to stop the overwhelm. That's one of the biggest things you can do today. Now, I'm going to go through a little bit of your labs today. We're going to cover that in detail on the next episode. But I know that overwhelm is huge. So the biggest thing I want you to do, other than feeling your emotions, is to just breathe. When you are overwhelmed, you're stressed. And when your body is stressed, it lowers your immune function. In fact, in Hashimoto's, one of the biggest factors, the root cause factors of developing Hashimoto's is increased stress or chronic stress. So I want you to lower your stress. Now, you've been seeking a diagnosis. There's been stuff going on. Now that you have a name for it, that doesn't change everything. It sheds light on it, maybe, but it doesn't change who you are. It doesn't change what's been going on in your body. And yes, it does change your path forward, but it doesn't need to change today, right now. It's not like an emergency, like your house is on fire, you have to get out of your house, right? That's something that it requires immediate change. You have a diagnosis. You have a direction now. But you don't have to dive in head first right this moment. Take some time to breathe. And when I say breathe, go ahead and put your hand on your chest and one hand on your belly. If you're driving, of course, don't do this. But if you're anywhere else, take the next 30 seconds to put one hand on your chest and one hand on your belly and take a deep breath. And observe your hands. Which hand went up and down? Which hand moved while you took a deep breath? Do it again. Take a deep breath and observe which hand moves when you take a deep breath. Now, I hope it's the hand on your belly, but it's probably the hand on your chest. But let me give you a tip. When you breathe with your chest, when you breathe with the tiny little muscles in between your ribs, when you breathe with your shoulders, all of those are sending signals to every single cell in your body that you're under stress. And that's what we're trying to lower. We don't want stress. When you breathe with your diaphragm or with your belly, you're actually massaging a huge nerve that runs right through your diaphragm. That's your breathing muscle. It's called the vagus nerve. And when you massage that muscle, it tells every single cell in your body, let's switch over to rest and digest mode. Let's get out of fight and flight. So now I want you to take a deep breath and focus on breathing with your belly. Now, when I started learning this, it was several years ago, and I couldn't do it. I had been drilled my entire growing up life to sit up straight, have perfect posture, tuck in and solidify my core. I could not breathe with my belly. I had to lay down on my back with my knees up so that it relaxed all of the muscles in my abdomen. And then I could practice breathing with my diaphragm or with my belly. Now I can do it sitting up. Now I can do it walking. The wonderful thing about breathing is you're doing it all the time. So if you learn to breathe and lower your stress with how you're breathing, you're going to do your whole health a favor. Body, mind, spirit, diet, environment, they're all connected. And breathing with your diaphragm, breathing and in a way that lowers your stress level is going to impact your body, your mind, your spirit. It's even going to impact how you digest your food. So it's going to impact your diet, because your diet is not necessarily what you put in your mouth. Your diet is what you are able to digest. And it changes how you see the environment. It changes your stress in the environment. So taking a deep breath with your diaphragm is going to impact everything. And that is the number one thing I want you to take away from this episode. Yes, you're going to feel your feelings, but you're going to breathe. You're going to lower the overwhelm. You're going to lower that stress level. Because going into today, tomorrow, the next week in a state of fight and flight, because you just learned a name for what's been going on, Hashimoto's thyroiditis, if you want to be specific, having stress because of that phrase, that title, it's not going to help you. In fact, it's going to hurt you. So along with that, I want you to picture a little girl, preschooler girl. She's working on arts and crafts. Maybe you help with Sunday school or some preschool ministries at your church, or maybe you have your own kids, whatever it is. Are you picturing a little girl? She's working with arts and crafts and she's trying to make it perfect and her little fingers are not working right. She can't get the picture exactly how she wants it. If she's gluing and cutting, it's just not going like she wants. She's trying so hard and it's not working. And she falls apart and she's crying and she's telling you that it's horrible. Now, are you going to stand there and you're like, what are you doing? Use the scissors correctly. Draw a picture, like put a head and a full body and arms. No, you're not. You're going to comfort her. You're going to tell her that she's doing the best she can. You're going to encourage her. You are that little girl. Your immune system has been doing its best, and it's not working well right now. It's trying so hard. Your immune system is overburdened. Your immune system is kind of firing all haywire. That's what Hashimoto's is. It's your immune system kind of going crazy, starting to attack yourself. The temptation is to be mad. The temptation is to be mad at your body. It failed you. But instead of being angry, switch that to self-compassion. Your immune system is crying for help. Now that you have a name for it, Hashimoto's thyroiditis, now you can do something about it. Now you know that it's your immune system. Now you know what to address. Like, oh, my immune system needs some love and attention. My immune system needs me to support it. So switch from anger, feel the feelings, and then switch. Whether it was grief or anger or whatever, switch to compassion. Let's figure out how to support our own bodies. Let's figure out how to support our immune function so that it doesn't attack ourselves. It's possible. And we're going to do it step by step because I don't want you overwhelmed. That is why I created the Abundant Energy for the Weary Mom program. It takes 6 months because every 2 weeks we tackle a different micro habit. It takes a while to build these habits, and I'm not going to give them to you all at once because it's not going to work. Simple and sustainable is what works. So feel the feelings. Stop the overwhelm, that stress, by breathing deeply with your diaphragm, and then have some self-compassion, have some compassion on your immune system. That's what I want you to focus on today. In the next episode, we will look at labs, and quickly, Hashimoto's is when you have antibodies to your own thyroid. So your immune system is attacking your thyroid. That's Hashimoto's in a nutshell. Your thyroid produces thyroid, and that impacts every single cell in your body. It's like the spark plug that lets each cell work. So when you have Hashimoto's, that's attacking the thyroid. It's impacting how every single cell in your entire body works. And we're going to get into how to help your thyroid, how to help your immune system, and how to help you, body, mind, spirit, diet, environment. Hey friend, I hope you loved today's episode. If you want to continue on a path to health, come join my program, Abundant Energy for the Weary Mom, where you will cut through the overwhelming information and follow a simple and sustainable path toward health. With support and encouragement, you will work in a strategic order to gain fast results that stick so that you can experience each day fully and make a positive impact on your family and everyone you encounter. Please help others find this show by rating and reviewing it in your podcast app or by sharing a screenshot of today's episode in your social media stories. Be sure to tag me on Instagram. You can find me at esthy.rn. This podcast is for informational and educational purposes only. Please be sure to discuss any concerns and plans with your trusted healthcare professional. Finally, may the God of hope fill you with joy and peace, and that in all aspects, I pray you have